Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you all for coming for this very special Shabbat. Hopefully some of you managed to go to the Pride event in Melrose on the 8th, which was a lot of fun. I'm sure that there's a lot more coming. You'll get all the announcements later. But I just want to say that it's such a blessing that we're able to come together openly and celebrate the struggle of what it means to be human for a particular group of people who have been so highly persecuted over the years. Hundreds of. It is something we're deeply empathetic with from our own Jewish history. It is a piece of our community that affects, I would say, way more people than you might assume. Our identities are complicated. Our identities are complex, and those complexities are incredibly beautiful and necessary to be who we are. So with that, I'm going to get myself a prayer book because I don't have, thank you. So with that, I'm going to invite us to turn to page 120 as we light the Shabbat candles, a weekly reminder that no matter how dark it gets, no matter how difficult our world gets, there is always light. There is always a spark of hope. And most of the time, that comes from each other. So join me as we light our Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shall Shabbat. Amen. We turn to page 128 and we sing the first line of Dodi Lee, page 129 at the top. Dodi Lee might sound familiar if you've been to any weddings lately. This is one of the common lines that we speak to each other when we exchange rings and we declare that we are in each other's lives, that we are connected forever, just like our people are connected forever. It feels very appropriate to use it tonight. So sing along if you know. Dodi li vani lo haroeh b'shoshanim Dodi li. We'll do that again. Dodi li vani lo haroeh b'shoshanim Dodi li mizotola min hametzora mikuteret morona. Yai, dai, 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 dodi, li, vanilo, haroe, bashoshanim, dodi, li. Most of our readings are going to be coming from a supplement for Pride, so don't look in your books. We come together. We come together this Shabbat, each bringing to this sanctuary a private world of hopes, of fears, of dreams. Some of us are burdened by anxieties and cares that all but crash our faith in the future. Others have hearts filled with happiness, grateful for the joys of the past week, yet aware that even the most fortunate are vulnerable before the mystery of tomorrow. Every life is a unique blending of joy and sorrow, of fulfillment and frustration. Beneath our uniqueness, we are all bound together by our common humanity. All of us most deeply yearn for the blessings of freedom and peace. Each of us seeks the personal liberation of a mind that is not enslaved to conventional wisdom, a heart that is able to love without fear, a spirit that cries yes to the universe. Each of us strives for the inner peace that comes with finding a harmony between our aspirations and our abilities. This is the Shabbat peace to which we aspire. We turn to page 138 for Lecha Jodi. We'll sing the chorus and then the first and then the last stanza. I'll motion for you to rise towards the last stanza. Lecha Jodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha Jodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushemo echad, L'shem ol tiferet v'tilah. Lecha Dodi lekrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, please rise. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Final stanza. Boi v'shalom ateret balam, Gam b'simcha usochola, Toch emunei am segula, Boi kala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. Page 140, we come to a psalm for Shabbat. I'm going to use the 2nd through 6th, I think, line. If you know the song Tov Lehodot, please sing along. Tov lechodot l'Adonai, Tov lechodot l'Adonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lechodot l'Adonai, lechagid baboker chastecha. Lechagid baboker chastecha. Ve'emunatcha baleilot. Ve'emunatcha baleilot. Tov lechodot l'Adonai. Tov lechodot l'Adonai. Tov lechodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lechodot l'Adonai. Lechakir baboker chastecha. Lechakir baboker chastecha. Ve'emunatcha baleilot. Ve'emunatcha baleilot. Tov lechodot l'Adonai. I would like to invite Spider to come up for our first reading.
Rabbi Jessica was kind enough to give me this, and like a good Jew, I have changed it. So I'm saying, my God, thank you for my life, my soul, my body, for my name, for my nature, for my way of thinking and talking. Help me realize that in my qualities, I am unique in this world, and so are you. No one, like any of us, has ever lived. For if there had ever been before someone like me, I would not have needed to exist. There's a saying that said God created trans people, and especially, queer people and trans people, for the same reason he created grain but not bread, grapes but not wine. It's because we are supposed to take part in creation. We are supposed to be able to take part in creation and create ourselves because, hey, who else is? So help me make my perfect in my own ways of love and caring, that by becoming perfect in my own way, I can honor your name and help bring about the coming of the Messianic age. Thank you.
As we turn to page 146, we are invited to rise for the Baruch Hu, the prayer that asks us if we are ready. Are our hearts ready? Are our minds ready to enter into a place of prayer and of thought and of compassion and love? As you say this in response, you're answering, yes, we are placing ourselves in this vulnerable position, place of openness in a world that tends to be very closed. So as you say these words, praising the divine energy that has created all of us exactly as we are saying, yes, this is indeed who we are. This is indeed who we want to be. This is indeed who our community should be. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. I invite Marlena to come up for our next.
Our people came out of Egypt, a mixed multitude, the spray of dividing waters sparkling diamonds all around them. We stood together at Sinai, all of us, future, present, past, amid the rumble of thunder and the crack of bright lightning, to enter into covenant with the one who loves us, in whose shining image we are all created over and over again. We have wandered bleak landscapes, built flimsy tents of skin and then houses of stone. We have planted orchards and vineyards, seen 2 temples rise and then go down in the surging flames, forcing us into exile. We have loved and lost, grieved and danced, transgressed and celebrated, hidden, suffered, and thrived. And we gather here on this day in the community of our people, a mixed multitude, and we sing out, "Hear, O Israel, we shall stand together, all of us, descendants of the single first human, created on the 6th day, and of our myriad parents down through the generations, too numerous to name. We stand together, link arms, and pray. Blessed are you, God of the universe, who sanctifies us with the commandment to love ourselves and one another in all our varied ways, and blesses us with a diamond bright radiance that still ripples out from your first spoken words of creation."
Page 150, we sing Ahavat Olam, an everlasting love. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta, otanu lemadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochvenu, u'kumenu nasiach bechukecha, v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'yorach yameinu, uvahem negei yomam v'layla, negei yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Okay. I want to read Asanu B'Tselem Elohim. We are all created in the image of God, an excerpt from a friend of mine, Rabbi Adam Rosenwasser. One of the most important teachings of the Torah is Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. There are no ifs, ands, or buts. We are commanded to love all members of the fabulous human family. In the creation account of the book of Genesis, God creates us B'Tselem Elohim, in God's image. That means that all of us, no matter our race, religion, gender identity, nationality, economic status, disability, or sexual orientation, all of us are reflections of the divine being who created us. Therefore, when we act with love and compassion towards one another, we become holy. But holiness is not enough. Being holy means we become aware of our task to fix this broken world. The biblical prophets urge us on with their words, justice, justice shall you pursue. Pursuing justice means that we will keep working until our objectives are achieved, until we gain full civil rights for all, including marriage equality and non-discrimination protections across our country. Each one of us carries the divine spark within, and when these sparks come together, be they 2 sparks in marriage or many more sparks in community, there is that much more godliness in the world. Bigotry prevents the sparks from uniting, from joining with other sparks. Bigotry and hatred keep people in their shells, afraid. Bigotry is the absence of justice. So pursuing justice means dealing with bigotry head on. It means educating others about the diversity and beauty of God's creations. It means not being afraid of ourselves. It means letting our sparks shine as bright as they can. For where there is light, there is hope, and justice penetrates the dark. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Praised are you, our God, ruler of this universe, who has made all of us in your image as amazing, awesome, and wonderful creations. Page 153, we reflect back that we are indeed, all of us, one human community, one part of all living beings sharing this earth, one with the divine. I invite you to take a deep breath and to close your eyes as we say Shema together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Page 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'beitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Liman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz mitzrayim lihiot lachem lelohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. A blessing for pride. Mikor HaHayim, source of life, you have blessed each of us with your spirit. In your wisdom, you have made each of us as a unique treasure. Mayan Hayenu, wellspring of our lives, cause us to flow with courage, strength, and compassion, to live our stories openly, proudly, and joyfully. Shekhinah Shel Ahava, presence of love, You embrace us with your love. May we embrace ourselves, our partners, our lovers, our friends, our children, our dear ones, with the power of your ahava rabbah, your unending, boundless love. Ruach HaShalom, spirits of peace and wholeness, open our eyes to the gifts and blessings. Excuse me. Turn that off. To the blessings we offer and receive from each other. Oh, sometimes it writes itself. I'm going to start that one over. Okay. Ruach HaShalom, spirit of peace and wholeness, open our eyes to the gifts and blessings we offer and receive from each other. Open our hearts to welcome each other fully and truly. Open our hands to embrace, to support, to lift each other. B'gilah, b'rinah, b'shalom, uvreut, with joy, with song, with peace, and with deep friendship. Today, on this Shabbat, as we celebrate renewal, pride, and community, let us walk together with strength, compassion, and love. Nevarech et ma'ayan chayenu, tikadesh ut sameach otanu ve'et haShabbat. We bless you, wellspring of our lives. May you fill us and Shabbat with joy and sanctity. We say, Amen. Page 157, we read in the English at the top together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Tehilot Osei Felem, Norah Tehilot Osei Felem. Malchutecha ra'u v'necha, Bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli anu v'yamru, Zeli anu v'yamru, Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki pata Adonai et Yaakov galo miyad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai ga'al Yisrael. I invite Sue Hers to come on up to read. That's the first one right here. Sorry, it's this one. Thank you. I just want to
Look at all these people. This is wonderful. As the sun sinks and the colors of the day turn, we offer a blessing for the twilight. For twilight is neither day nor night, but in between. We are all twilight people. We can never be fully labeled or defined. We are many identities and loves, many genders and none. We are in between roles, at the intersection of histories, or between place and place. We are crisscrossed paths of memory and destination, streaks of light and swirled together. We are neither day nor night. We are both, neither and all. May the sacred in-between of this evening suspend our certainties, soften our judgments, and widen our vision. May this in-between light illuminate our way to the God who transcends all categories and definitions. May the in-between people who have come to pray be lifted up into this twilight. We cannot always define, we can always say a blessing. Blessed are you, God of all, who brings on the twilight.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. As we turn to page 164, we enter into the Amidah, a place for silent prayer. We'll sing the opening meditation, and then you're invited to say the words that are on the page, the words that are in your heart. Take your time, say quietly whatever it is that you need to say out loud to this world. It is quite a world right now. And when you feel like you are ready to continue on and you have said what you need, you can be seated. We'll move on from there. Now, on page 164, I invite you to rise as you're able. Adonai tzevatai tiftachu fi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Page 179. I want to sing Lo Yisagoy, different from our normal after Amidah moment. But nation shall not take up sword against nation. They shall never again know war. Don't stop after beating the swords into plowshares. Don't stop. Go on beating and making musical instruments out of them. Whoever wants to make war again will have to turn them into plowshares first. Lo yisagoy al goy charav, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy al goy charav, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy al goy charav, lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo Lo yisagoya goy charev. Lo yilmedu od milchama. It is a hard day, week, year, month, take your pick, because we are living through a period of time I honestly hadn't quite expected. We're living through a period of time where fear has taken hold of so many people and communities and nations. And when we are afraid, we close in on ourselves. And when we are afraid, we need something to be afraid of. We need something to point to, something physical, something tangible, something that we can say, this is what's wrong. This is the piece that is incorrect. This is what we need to excise from our community. It is fear. And for good reason. This world is terrifying. This world is terrifying. And it's not fair. It doesn't decide who deserves sickness or heartache or wealth. It just is. And we human beings, we are complicated. We want this world to be easy. We want this world to be the world of the Torah, where there is a divine arbitrator who metes out punishment for those who are evil and goodness for those who are loyal or good or mitzvot inclined. But we know that that was never real. That was always a fantasy. Because let's be really honest, it's quite clear that human beings can't make that world on their own. I have been thinking a lot about the messaging that I've been receiving, that most of us have been hearing, is messages of certainty, of clarity, of people who can stand up and say, I know for sure what we need to do to make this better. I know exactly what needs to happen. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And you should just fall into line and I'll take care of you. And it's across the board. It is across the board that there are people who say, I know. And nothing, not you, your opinions, not facts or data can change my mind. Right? Be wary, incredibly wary of those people. If we know one thing for certain, it's that we don't know anything. The amount of people who have been certain about something that was proved incredibly wrong, harmful, is more than anybody could count. We knew for certain that the planets orbited around us on Earth. We knew for certain that there were gods in the sky that had particular powers and could affect our lives. We knew for certain that particular clergy were closer to God and could speak on God's behalf. We knew for certain that this legislation, that this bill, that this anything is going to fix what I want it to fix with no unintended consequences. Can't know anything for certain. And anyone who says that they do is lying. Perhaps to themselves, most likely to themselves. Because it is terrifying to realize that there is no certainty, that you cannot know for sure anything. It's terrifying. It makes perfect sense, right, for us to cling to something that we can see and hold and place our fears onto, right? Move them away from us and onto something else. Honestly, it's human nature. It's human nature. Which is why it's so important for us to identify that, to understand that aspect of ourselves and to ward against it. Right? You can't defend yourself if you're not being honest with yourself. And again, that honesty can be really hard. And we find our truth in different places, in different times, in different stages of our lives. And I do believe in truth. I really do believe that most of us actually own a deep truth that is not the same as certainty, right? When we find our truth, like, what are we doing here? What is our mission here on earth? Who are we supposed to spend our lives with? What are we doing? How can we make our community better? We can find those truths, right? That you can do. But you always have to leave open the possibility that you might have gotten something wrong, right? And it's very difficult to hold both of these things at the same time, which is why people tend to not do that, right? You can go all the way one way. I don't know anything, and therefore I can't do anything, and I'll be paralyzed for the rest of my life. You can go the other way and say, I know exactly what to do, and I'm going to do it, and nobody can tell me what to do, and I'm never going to stop. And they both end up harming ourselves and our loved ones and our communities. It is living in the balance, always allowing doubt to step in and give yourself a question. It's important to check in, but not allowing it to take over. All of us will fail at this balancing act. I don't know anyone who is able to stay at that like self-actualized top of the Maslow hierarchy forever. Those are moments that you might touch, but you always come back. It was the same for the mystics in prophecy, right? They would go out and have an experience where they felt the truth of the divine, and they were in that space where they were connected to the world and to everything, and they felt whole and complete, and they could see the truth of everything. But then they had to come back down to earth. And pieces of that experience were confused, doubted, lost. So they had to do the work again. They had to get to that space again and again and again, always knowing that the moment they touch it, they will fall back down to earth. They cannot stay there. We will always fall back down to earth. We will have moments of truth and a glimpse of that divine spirit, and then something will happen and we will forget it. It will dissipate. It will slip out of our grasp. And it can be painful to lose that, right? To lose that sense of truth and surety. And you might be tempted to throw up your hands and say, I guess that was it. No, you have to do the work again. Even if it means starting from scratch, you do the work over and over and over again, always striving to move forwards, to see truth, to see love, and knowing that you will fail over and over. That's what it is to be human. We fail way more often than we succeed. But if you didn't fail, if you didn't fall back down, nothing would change. And you wouldn't change. God knows I don't want to be the same person I was at 14. Nobody here wants to go back to high school, you know? And that's just what it means to be human. It means that we live in uncertainty. It means that we doubt. It means that we're confused. And it means that we're wrong. And that's okay. If you want to be right all the time, wait for the Messianic age. Great. Until then, we're just human. We cannot be more than human. We cannot be perfect. We cannot be certain. We are not God. Embrace uncertainty and embrace each other, because the journey is hard, but it is so much better when you have people to walk the path with you. I am so thankful that we are in a community that sees each person as a divine inspiration, that celebrates our diversity and our uniqueness. And I am so blessed that we at least still are in a place where we can stand up and say exactly who we are. We are still in that place where we can say that. I hope to God we remain a place where we can stand up and say who we are, regardless of religion or gender or orientation or disability. And we have to keep working so that we can stay a place where we can all be who we are and celebrate that part of ourselves. So I'll just say there are many ways that you can be part of communities that are striving to maintain the glimpse of goodness in our world. There are many communities and people who are organizing to fight for what they believe in and for what has allowed us as Jews to thrive in this country. And if you are interested in being more involved in any of those initiatives, you can always ask me. You can probably ask Sue hers right over here. And you can show up tomorrow on the 14th in a lot of different localities. I also just want to say that being human means feeling pain, and it means suffering. And we are seeing that suffering in our world and in our communities, in our neighborhoods, in our families. And there's not going to be a quick end to that suffering. And that doesn't mean that we sit it out. It doesn't mean that we give up. It doesn't mean that we say we are defeated. It just means that we are there for each other, that we love one another, that we hold each other up when we're suffering, and we keep walking forwards together. Shabbat Shalom. Page 586. I invite you to rise for Aleinu as you're able. Second Aleinu paragraph. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gerula liyotzeh b'reishit shelo asanu kigoyeh ha'aratzo Velo samanu kamishbechot ha'adama shelo sam chalkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Top of 588. Shehu noteh shamayim v'yosei haaretz umoshav yekaro b'shamayim ima'al u'shchinatu zo Ushrinatu zo, Begove Maromim. Hu Eloheinu Enod. Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato. Kakatuv Betorato. Viadata Hayom. Viadata Hayom Behashevota. Elevavecha. Ki Adonai Hu Ha-Elohim Bashamayim Mimal V'al ha'aretz Mitachat Einod Miller 591 V'ne'emar V'haya Adonai Lemelech al kol ha'aretz Bayom hahu, Yihya Adonai echad, Ushemo echad. You may be seated, except for Shirley, who I invite to come up for a reading.
I was hoping that King David might come and help us.
We'll see. Is it still time?
Maybe.
Haven't gotten on again.
Okay. This is a prayer, really, serious, of remembrance, not only those people, but all of us. Oh God, remember today our LGBTQ siblings who were martyred in years past, who were murdered in fanatic Middle Ages, those who perished in the Holocaust, and those struck down in our own city in our own times. Remember also those who took their own lives, driven by despair by a world that hated them because of a gender or love. And in mercy, remember those who lived in loneliness, repressing their true natures, afraid of sharing their love with one another. Oh God, remember the sacrifices of those martyrs and help us to bring an end to hate and oppression of every kind, now and forevermore.
Amen. We turn to page 598 and we rise for Kaddish. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemei Rabbah, Bialma Divrach Yirte, Biamlich Malchute, Bechayechon, Ubiomechon, Ubchaye Techol Beit Yisrael, Bagala Ubizman Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam Omei Omaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitchoman V'yitnaseh. V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal. Shmei Dekudsha Berechu. Le'ela Minkol Birchata V'shirata. Tushbechata V'nechemata. Ta'amiran V'yalma V'imru. Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. May peace be sent to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. You may be seated. I'm going to except for Sarah, who gets to come up and do the announcements.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Sperling, for those of you who don't know me. Thank you, Rabbi Jessica, for an amazing service. We have 2 more Friday night Shabbats coming up. And so Friday, June 20th and Friday, June 27th will be our last one. And as Rabbi alluded to earlier, there's a ton of great programming, and especially with everything that we've been talking about tonight, it's important to continue to have these conversations together. So as Rabbi Jessica has shared in the past, we have the Roots of Anti-Semitism series. The next two are Wednesday, June 18th and the 25th at 7 p.m. There's information in the bulletin. You can join via the Zoom link. There's also Shabbat Family Yoga for anyone who would like to join next Saturday. I see one little one in here who might join. I'm going to try and take Sadie. Tuesday, June 24th at 7 p.m., there's a special program on blurring the binary. This is a guest speaker, Eli Sobel. Is that how you say it? Thank you. To really talk about perspectives on gender diversity. And then we have our super exciting event. I know many in the community come to this, are Keeping Jazz Alive on Saturday, June 28th at 8 p.m. So feel free to tell your friends and loved ones to join us here. And I think those are the big things. That's it for the summer.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Sarah.
no problem.
I will say I am generally around. So if you want to get coffee or a chat or that's pretty much all that I can think of. But if there's anything else you want to do, you just let me know. Yeah, I am happy to leave the kids at home and we can do a little Rising Eagle situation. But yeah, please reach out. My kids will be in camp, so I'm around. Okay, so for our closing song, I think we could use all the peace in the world. So let's sing Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. We have quite a lovely oneg, so come up. Huge thank you to our two oneg committees, Sue and Susie. Thank you very much. And I think we have some donation from Naomi and Mark. So what do you mean by that? We can talk, but this is a long one.
Who gave us the reading had something to do with it. And I was looking for
I listened to the podcast. I thought it was very good. Not many people know about it.
I know.
FYI, we want to put this up somewhere on the show. We're going to start. Smaller ones, not bigger ones.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, we're only here for 2 more weeks. So.